So good afternoon, class. You guys are all fifth graders today, and I am Miss April. Welcome to our history lesson. Today we're going to be learning about a really important railroad in history, but it's not the type of railroad that you're thinking probably. It's the Underground Railroad.
What's that?
So it's a more symbolic railroad. So I'm going to go ahead and pass out these little packets that have the information that we're going to be going over today. If I can get it.
I want to go
It's
on
just
the
3
Underground
pages.
Railroad.
Thank you.
Not too sure about that. We'll see, we'll see.
No.
So I'm just going to go ahead and read to you guys what we have on here just to give you some background information about the Underground Railroad. It's a 19th century network of secret routes, safe houses used by slaves to escape to free lands in the North, aided by abolitionists and allies. Do you guys know what abolitionists are? Does anybody know what that is? An abolitionist is someone who is for the idea of free slaves. They don't want slavery to be in existence anymore. So in the 19th century, there was a lot of slavery going on. It was really big, especially in the South States. So there was a lot of people who obviously didn't want to be slaves anymore. So they were aided by people who would take them through this Underground Railroad and take them to the free states in the North so they can be free instead of being slaves. It was said to have begun around the end of the 18th century, and the Underground Railroad earned its name in 1831 with the emerging of steam railroads. And so here are a few terms. Does anybody want to help me read the terms in here?
Sure.
Yay, thank you. You can read the first two and then you can read the last two.
I didn't want to steal your thunder.
You raised your hand. Okay.
I know.
Stations or depots, homes or businesses where fugitives would rest and eat. And then station masters, owners or leaders of the stations and rest areas.
Stockholders, contributors of money or goods, and the conductor, the individual responsible of moving fugitives from one station to the next.
Yeah, so in this railroad that they had, there was a bunch of symbolic terms that they used that would bless you. That'd be like actual terms used in real railroads just to kind of cover up what they were doing, but have the slaves and the conductors know what was going on. And the conductors of the Underground Railroad were usually either free slaves or Quakers. Like it was both white people and African Americans. I don't know how to say that in a better way. But yeah, so that's that. And so I put down here at the bottom of the page 2 notable figures for you guys that are probably the most important and well known from the Underground Railroad. And the first is Harriet Tubman. Has anybody heard of her before? Yeah, I feel like we've all probably heard of her a little bit. She was a civil rights activist who escaped slavery in 1849, and after she escaped slavery, she came back to the South 19 times and helped over 300 slaves escape slavery, including her sister and her sister's children, which is really great because I feel that's pretty amazing for her to return in such an unsafe place, but she did it. And then the last one that I put is Levi Coffin, who was an American Quaker / abolitionist / businessman. And his home was actually known as the Grand Central Station of the Underground Railroad because he did so much for the